Hey everyone, my name is Charlotte Conter, founder of Health Sheroes, an intuitive holistic coach. And I am so excited to be joined by this superstar, beautiful soul here today. And I'm so grateful that she created the time in her busy schedule for me to do a quick little interview with her. So part of my services, I do like online courses and group coaching and individual coaching, but I also offer spiritual readings. And this is something that I've never really come out of the closet and kind of announced to other people. This has always been by, behind closed doors. And I've always had clients through word of mouth, but now my children are having their own spiritual experiences. And I'm like, woo, I got to start talking about this more and kind of, help pave the way for them and to feel more confident. Now, so I want to introduce Tanya. So Tanya, thank you so much for joining. She is a successful actor. So I'm really excited to have her on. And Tanya and I go way back. We had done post-grad together, and we have stayed in touch over the years. It's been, I think we said almost 15 plus years. Yeah. Wow is right. And we've always stayed in contact and kind of let each other know like what we're up to, what we're doing. And she had reached out and I said, you know what, like, why don't we tune in and see, why don't we book a reading? And she was totally game for it. So I was so excited to do a reading with her this week. So I thought, why don't we come on and kind of interview her experiences about that reading. So thanks for joining us. So excited to have you here.
I'm so excited to do this. I feel like it's just, honestly, it was such an awesome experience. So I am ready to jump in and tell you all about it.
Amazing. So first things first, like what led you to even be open to getting it? I know you've had other spiritual readings before. So what made you want to get one done in the past, even this time?
I had one before, and I will say, like, at that point in my life, I was kind of much more of a skeptic about it than I am sort of much more open to it now. But it was a really great experience. I got they touched a lot upon actually some similar things that you did. Some were similar. So that was cool to see some connection between the two. But I just wanted to I want to ask questions to the universe. I feel like there's just the side of me that is wants to tap into more of my own spirituality and things like that. So I'm much more open to it now. And when I had just reached out to you to chat about something and you brought it up, I had really been wanting to do a reading again. So it just seemed like the perfect opportunity to jump in and do it again.
I love that. Now, having a reading done before by a stranger, I'm assuming, and having a reading done by somebody that knows you. I mean, it's not like, we don't talk every day, but, we still keep in touch with what the major events are in our lives, So what was it like getting, read by somebody that you know?
Well, I think that was the one thing that I was a little bit worried about, in the sense that I knew that you knew, some things about me, that I was in acting, that I had been a child and youth worker, things about me, those kind of things. Yeah. But so I was a little bit worried that it might be hard. But I will say that you started off the reading by saying that right off the bat, that it is actually harder to read someone you know, and that you had to spend time meditating and really figuring out the thoughts versus what you were feeling. And I just love that you started out that way, telling me that, because it really made me feel more comfortable that I sort of was having that same feeling a little bit. But it ended up being so great, and you pulled out stuff that I know you wouldn't have known about me that I hadn't shared with you. So it was interesting to know what I had shared with you and what I hadn't shared, and what you were able to pull out that I hadn't. And there was one thing that I'm thinking of now, that you were dead on about my parents and how they sort of were with me when I was younger, and how it sort of plays out in my relationship now with my husband. And it was dead on, so accurate. And it was really, really cool to hear some of the stuff that you said. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. And yeah, if I'm reading somebody that I know, I have to spend even more time. I meditate before the call. So I spend even more time meditating, making sure that it's not like my ego or my thoughts or, and if it's a stranger, I don't do it, it's just I pick up and I write down whatever I'm getting, so there's no questions whatsoever. So there's definitely a lot more work that goes into when I do know somebody. So I can understand and respect those fears and worries when you're like, oh God, I know she knows some things about me.
Right.
What else can she say? So
Right.
that's cool. And what was unique about this reading, or what did you enjoy about it
Well,
compared to
I
the other one?
really, really loved that you picked up on right at the beginning that I've been having like intuitive moments and that I have to sort of let go of the fear when they happen, because I get really scared when things happen that I predicted, or like if someone like my dog or my grandma, when I feel like their presence come to me at sort of nighttime and when I'm in between dream and sleep, I feel a lot of like spirits come to me. So it was, but I get really, really nervous when it happens. And I almost like get like the fear comes in so much. And we talked about how letting go of that fear and being more open to those moments is actually a beautiful thing. And so that's been happening a lot more, where little sort of, moments happen where I think of something and then it happens very soon after. It's been really cool to be less afraid of those moments, and you really telling me to kind of let go of the fear and the anxiety that I feel when those moments happen has really been helpful, even just since we did it. And I don't remember what day we did it. How long ago was it? It feels like it was like a long time ago. It was a couple days, right? But it feels like it was a while ago, and all these things have happened since then. But I think so much has happened since that reading that it feels like it was a long time ago, even though it wasn't.
Yeah. Yeah, and I love everything that you're saying, because when we have fear around, our intuition is like our innate like superpower. That's something that we can tap
Right.
into. And when we have fear around that, it blocks it. So it kind of blocks things from, us seeing the signs and synchronicities, us even acknowledging that, hey, that was us, that we did pick up on that energy. And we kind of dismiss it as if it was nothing. And we've, this has been done through, tons of years of programming in school and with shows. And that's why there's so much fear around anything with the supernatural or intuition or ghost or spirits. It's always been done in a very scary way, because
Right.
fear is a low vibrational energy, so that can block it. So now all of a sudden, when you start acknowledging the fear and removing it, now you're going to probably experience, have more spiritual experiences without the fear.
Right.
So I love that that's already started to happen.
Yeah. And the little exercises that we did too were really cool too, to try to tune into it more. I love that. Like, and we just, I don't know, it was really great.
Thank you. And yeah, whenever I'm doing readings, because, I always look at it from a perspective. If I was getting a reading done, we could talk, spirituality and, guidance and things like that all day long. But if we don't ground it with action steps,
Yeah.
it's like, it's too much, up in our head. So I really like to ground that energy. So, through different exercises or through action steps. And of course, like, it's always catered to the individual. It's not like a one-stop shop. And I feel like, these sessions, although, it's a spiritual experience, but it's almost like jumping on an express train to like where you want to go. It's like, oh, this is why I've been feeling this way. Oh, okay, I get it.
Exactly.
Okay, these are some action steps that I can get to like much faster, than I could maybe through conventional support,
Right. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's so
Yeah. Amazing. So if somebody came to you and said like, I'm thinking about getting a reading done with Charlotte, like what's some advice that you could offer or that you would offer?
Yeah, the best piece of advice I always say is just go with your gut. If you feel like you want to do it, just do it. So you're gonna get something good out of it for sure. And I also think that it's just it's an experience that you can't really get in a lot of other ways. And it just makes you feel, it just made me feel really good. Like I left feeling really calm, really zen, really like I had gotten answers that I was looking for. And the one thing that you did was ask me to write down my intentions before and the questions I had. And really, I think 3 out of the 4 questions you answered without me asking. So that was kind of cool to put that there. I think there was one thing that was left that I had written down that we hadn't touched upon, and then we touched upon it. So everything just sort of came out really naturally of what I was hoping to come out.
Love that. Yeah, the power of intention. Before I do any reading, I always get the clients to write down all of their intention, any questions that they may have. So that kind of sets the intention for the reading. So when I'm meditating, I'm hoping to pick up on everything that they set that intention for.
Cool.
So yeah, that's really cool. So thank you so much for creating the time. I know you're super busy, and I'm going to be putting Tanya's Instagram link below this video. So be sure to follow her on Instagram. And you can check out, she posts all these super cool pictures behind the scenes of her acting experience that are so fun to watch. So be sure to follow her. And Tanya, thank you so much for creating the time. Thank you so much for sharing your experience, and love you lots.
Love you a lot, Charlotte. And thank you so much for inviting me to do this. It's always so much fun to see your beautiful face and to get to chat in any capacity that we do. So
honestly. All right. Big hug. And thanks so much for tuning in. Be sure to like, be sure to subscribe, and share the video if you feel called to. All right. Big hug, everyone.
Bye.